Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Tied as a Mother podcast with Shantae Renee, where we're in our series as a Mother's Tea. And it has been very inspirational, encouraging, and I'm super excited about the feedback that I've been getting about this series that we've been doing. So if this has been a blessing to you, please make sure you let your girl know because this has been a unique assignment that God has given me, and I am trying my best. Well, I'm not going to say I'm trying. I'm doing my best with making sure that the assignment is completed and it is done. But let me jump on into our guest on today. This is my sis. Um, she's a makeup artist. She is a lot of hats for me. She is my kids' aunt and everything else. My homegirl, Tisha. Introduce yourself, girl. Let the people know who you are, how many
Thank
kids you
you.
have, and describe motherhood with one word.
Okay, well, I go by Tisha. I have three children, 18, 14, and 9. And motherhood is such a broad, like it's super broad for me because we carry so many hats and it's just being that that go to that one the leader, the first leader in your kid's life. You go through 9 months with them,
Mm.
and you already developing that relationship from the time they're conceived to them growing inside of you to giving birth. So it's really kind of, you can explain it in so many ways.
Yes, as you right. I'm telling you, a mother, being a mom is you do wear a lot of hats. And you brought up something that I haven't heard no one say as far as like building that relationship while you're pregnant, because that's important too, just to even have that bond even before they even get here. So
Yeah,
it's just amazing as of how moms love on their kids prior to everything,
right.
So also, because I'm being real, I kind of touched on all the things that you do. Tell us, who are you outside of a mom?
Okay, okay. Well, of course, I'm a licensed esthetician and I'm a licensed natural hair care specialist, but I also work for Durham 911 Communications, so I'm a first responder.
Okay.
Um, Outside of that, I'm an older sister. I have one older sister that's on my dad's side, and I don't know. I'm like a big sis to a lot of my like younger friends, but I'm very like a real loyal friend to a lot of people that I connect with.
Now that you definitely are, you are very loyal. And honestly, I feel like you're a mother figure too. Even though you say you're a big sis to a lot of friends that you hang around, but you're also a mother figure to a lot of
Yeah,
to a lot of
that too.
kids. I know I can
Auntie, all
speak
of
for
that.
even what you saying, sis.
I said auntie, all that.
Yeah. Yeah, like for real. Because I know with Zion being in high school, you have taken in a lot of other boys,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and been an
And
aunt
it's
and
mom this
also
and
like a
mom
mother
that.
figure. So with that, like, is there any other women that's been in your life that mold you into the mom that you are now?
Um, I was really, really close with my grandma, my maternal grandmother, and my paternal grandmother. Um, I have a lot of like older friends as well who um just kind of pushed me and kept me moving. My mom, of course, and my friends, like my real close, genuine friends.
Like, how does your circle works for you? 'Cause I know you say your close, genuine friends. Because with this industry that you in, with makeup and stuff like that, you meet a whole bunch of people. So how important? What can you explain the importance
So,
of your circle?
so going through a lot of things in life, I realized that certain people that you want to be a part of your tribe end up not being a part of your tribe.
Mm.
And you find that out by certain things that you go through in life. I always was a popular person just because of my spirit, but that came with a lot of stuff because it made me a good friend to people that really wasn't good friends to me.
Mm,
And then I've met people in the industry that's closer to me than a lot of people that I felt should have been close to me growing up, or even now. I still have like certain friends for over 20 years, but I've met people along the way, and that's when you have to establish the difference between associates and friends. And so my circle basically now is I want people around me who um who is spiritual, who have a relationship, who's doing positive things, who's trying to build, who's trying to do bigger things, who's a mother, like if they're a mother, how they interact with their children, being there, and all of that stuff. That's what I kind of want in my circle, like a positive circle.
right. So what pushed you to this point? Because it sounded like you didn't went through um some challenges. Because you say you're real selective with who you're gonna keep around, like your friends and stuff like that, because you thought the people who were supposed to be your friends really not your friends. So how did you go through with cutting stuff off and things like that?
Whew. Girl, so I I was a crash out for number one. I'm
Okay, wait,
always
explain
was
more. Crash out.
crash out,
What they look like?
meaning okay, meaning I really thought a lot with my heart. So
Mm,
when people would do stuff to me and that I know I wouldn't do to them, I don't know how to turn my anger off. So I just kind of like reacted. And a lot of times when I went through things, I was in a relationship where, I gave my all and then it went left. And I didn't ask for the relationship. I kind of just went with it because I'm like, okay, that's what they're saying they want. That's what I'm going with. And then to do that and then get kicked in the face, it's a hurtful feeling. But even when I was going through all of that, I felt like people wasn't taking in consideration of my feelings. They just telling me what it looked like on the outside. And it wasn't really helping me because it was like, okay, this happened to her. That this is public. So it's public stuff going on, which I never cared about because I always felt like if I grow out of this, I'll help somebody.
mm,
But I wanted it to be corrected. But it took for somebody that I never like I met a woman and she started holding me accountable for the things that I would react to. And although people will tell you, oh, this look like this, you look crazy, you do this, you do that, it's not considering a person's feelings. It's just telling you what it looked like. You get what
mm,
I'm saying? So once I
mm,
sat back and I actually was like, okay, yeah, this is foul. Like, nah, I don't need to be treated like this because I'm a good person. Like, I treat everybody with love. I go over and beyond. Like, and when people started telling me my self worth, because I let it get to me so bad that I felt sorry for myself and I was depressed and I was going through all this stuff and it took me away like mentally from being the mama that I know I could be because I would isolate myself. I would come out the room, I fix their food, I make sure they do their schoolwork, I ask them is they okay, and I go back in my room. And I went into a deep depression and nobody checked on me. Nobody checked on me, but people, it was like a handful of people. But when I'm out and I'm fighting or I'm fussing and stuff, everybody had something to say. Like everybody wanted to talk to me. But when I was going through that dark space, nobody wanted to talk. So I was in a funk and I felt like it really took me away from being the mama that I knew that I could be because I'm like, I'm letting this defeat me. I'm letting this beat me. And that's not what I want to be to my kids. So I had to like start like put myself in a little spiritual bag. And I was like, I can't practice at the time. time I was like, I couldn't even practice religion because I didn't know who I was.
Mhm.
So I would sit back, you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, I want this to work out for me. I want to do it, but what am I doing?
Mhm.
I don't even know what I want. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, because I gave too much in one situation, and it blindsided me from everything that I already had planned for myself. My kids is used to my kids are used to like family, so we always go somewhere. We go on trips. I've been taking them different places around the world. We sit to the table and eat. We talk, we laugh, we dance, we joke. And I was not doing none of that with my children.
So
And when
how
I was
will
going through that, I
mm.
didn't have nobody.
So how were you able to get out of that depression state and feeling like you didn't have anyone around you?
I started looking at my kids, you know, because I always wanted to be like, I didn't want my kids to ever go through like what I did as a kid, but I also wanted my kids to look to me as that first point, like that they could always come to me about anything. But I was being unfair to them because I was shutting them out. So I had to be like, okay, find something to keep your mind off of this. That's what people wonder why I go to school so much. That's why if I'm not working or if I'm not busy, my mind just kept thinking and thinking and thinking. So I was like, nah, okay, sis, go to school. So I went back to school. And once I did that, I met people. Then I started working. Then I opened businesses. And then after that, it was just like I was gone. Like
Mm.
I was back on the right path, but I had to isolate. I was already feeling by myself. So I just stayed by myself and I started journaling. And
Mm.
I started saying affirmations and writing it down and talking everything out that I wanted to come to to present.
Well, I'm glad you were able to find your peace throughout all that because sometimes dealing with depression and being a mom it takes on a lot, and like you say, it make you feel like it's unfair to your kids because you're not able to give them that 100% of you.
Right.
And nothing is wrong going back to school because I love some school myself.
Girl, everybody be like, "What you doing next?" And I'm like, "I'm taking a break right now." But now my job got it where they pay for you to go to school, so I'm like, "What I want to do next?"
Nothing wrong with that. Shoot, that's a blessing. Um, no, I had lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Nah, it was me this time. Okay, I'm back. All right. So yeah, back to school. I want you to tell people about your business because you're playing it real low key right now. Because I had asked you earlier. I said, okay, tell the people who you are. You was like, yeah, I do,
Because
do.
I don't.
Please tell the people who you are.
All right, man. So look, okay. I do makeup. I do
Okay.
a lot of stuff. I do makeup. I do
What's your business name? You saying you do
I
makeup?
changed
Tell the people
okay,
what you do.
my business name is the Beauty Cipher. And it's crazy cuz I changed my name a lot to to the point where now I feel like it fits me. So a lot of I love music. I love old school, but I love beauty. I love everything beauty. So that's how I came up with like the Beauty Cipher. Um, and I do makeup. Makeup is like my specialty. I do a lot of nice soft glams. I also do natural hair. I kind of stick to like sew-ins, natural hair, blowouts, ponytails, quick weave, stuff like that. Do lashes.
Hmm.
I also kind of tap into making flyers. I've been doing that low key. A lot of people been posting flyers, but I don't never tell them to post that it's me because I be so busy.
Hmm.
So I'm doing that, and I'm also helping my son with his business because he's cutting hair.
Hmm.
So that's about it, basically, as far as business wise. I mean, I travel, so I am in Raleigh. but I do travel everywhere. I've been somewhere everywhere, Philadelphia, Georgia. I've been everywhere to do makeup.
That's dope. So, with your busy schedule, do you ever deal with mom guilt? And if you do, how do you handle it?
Okay, so it hit me really bad before senior year. Um, I moved down here, and Janaya decided she wanted to try out for basketball, and I'm like, she a new face. I'm in my mind. I'm like, they don't know her, so she might not play.
Mm,
So Janaya makes the basketball team, and I at the time I'm working for the Mac Counter in Belt, and they got like a point system. So you really can't be late. You can't call out. You can't do nothing. And
mm,
so with that, Zion was in his junior year of football. So now I'm having to like be like, okay, I got to figure out what games I'm going to. If I couldn't make Zion game, see with me and Maurice always be like, I can make this game. You make the next game. So we always kind of like did it like that. So neither one of us felt guilty, and nobody was not there. So we
mhm,
always exchanged who cannot be there, even when I moved away. But then it got to where Zion and Janaya schedules was like 2 times in a week, and I would miss her games because I felt guilty because I wasn't living in Elizabeth City no more. So I was like, I need to make his game, and then I'll just go to her game next week. So I will make one of her games and one of his games, and I had to make it like that because I felt really guilty for if I missed either one of their games. And then the crazy part about it is I didn't know until like towards the end of last year, Zion didn't really want me to move. He told me to move.
mm,
He told me it was okay. So, because he knew it was going to be better for me. But then it was like, well, I didn't know what to do because you're not here. And my heart just dropped because I was like, all you had to say was, no, mom, don't move. And I would have stayed. But I felt like, he was already going to be good because he was already staying with his dad. But he also was staying with me too. So it was like you know what I'm saying. So I had to basically battle between him and Janaya and their schedule, and then Mir honestly gets left out because
yeah.
now Mir can't do nothing because Zion and Janaya's schedule is so busy that I don't have nothing left to where he can do something extra.
Mm. And how they
So
make Mir
I feel
feel?
guilty all the time with him.
Yeah. And how does Mir feel that he feel like he can't do anything because of his older siblings? Or do you
So
talk to him like he have those type of conversations?
I
Or
do, yeah, I do talk to him. Um, but he loves his siblings so much most of the time. He
oh,
don't care long as he can see them. But um I do try to put him like I put him in a football camp and I'm gonna let him go to like the Boys and Girls Club for the summer so that he can have something to do. But being here, like moving here and not and trying to adjust and not really knowing people like that, I'd be
mhm,
scared to let him do but so much. With Janaya and Zion, they like old enough to kind of tell me and defend themselves.
yeah,
I don't feel that comfortable yet with just like saying, okay, I'm gonna let him do this because I still have to pay the bills. I still have to make sure that they have everything they need. Like I honestly went 4 months without working,
hey,
and I went 4 months without working and just trying to build up my clientele. This past like holiday time, because I felt bad that all I did was work and I was missing my daughter games and that just bothered me. So I was just like, I'll just focus on my business right now. And I always would cry and be frustrated.
mm,
And I used to call D all the time I'd be like, man, cause like this is stressing me out. He'd be like, yo, it always work out for you. I don't know why you stress it, but it always
Mhm.
work. And I promise you, it worked out for me every month that I did not work. All my bills was paid,
Wow.
and I did not have the stress or worry about nothing. Although I was in a shell, I went through a depression, but I was like, it was either that or my daughter be upset because I'm not at her games. So I just I quit.
So wait, you quit? What you quit?
I quit working as a full time Mac artist. I'm a
Gotcha.
freelancer now. So with me freelancing, I can make my own schedule. So I go there when I feel like it.
Got it.
So
Got
I
it.
work there on the weekends. If I don't have any clients at the shop, I'll go to the Mac counter and work there on the weekends, and then I work for the communications during the week.
That's a lot. So how do you make a balance for you? Because you got like 15 jobs, and you so
I
supportive as a mom.
I know I don't, and that's why I said like I did take off the month of June for from the Mac counter for like so I'm not working no weekends.
Right.
Um, but with graduation coming up, and my son having prom, and then all of that
Mm,
stuff, I knew I wasn't going to catch a break, and everything costs.
yeah.
I'm not a
And
single parent when it comes to him because me and his dad always been really really good co-parents. Um, what I can't do, he'll help me. You know what I'm saying? If he can't, then I try to pick it up. But we always co-parent. But I still got two other kids I got to make sure straight too.
and look, speaking of co-parenting, how did y'all build that relationship as far as being able to have that type of foundation? Because everybody don't have a co-parent.
Crazy part about it is me and Maurice we used to fuss all the time, but we was friends first. And when you friends first, sometimes the respect that you have in that friendship carries throughout everything else. So we always been friends. We get mad at each other. We won't talk for like a month, maybe. Then one of us break. We talk, and we'll bring up like, "Hey, Zion, blah blah blah. How work going? How's your job going? Uh, this how I found out this little business thing." And then he'll be like, "Well, how you do that again?" Like he always pushed me, like in anything that I ever wanted to do. He pushed me because when I said I didn't want, I was like, "Look, I'm going to school. I'm not gonna be able to work." He'd be like, "Go ahead, I got you. As long as you're going to school." So when I couldn't do it, he helped me. Like, and he always told me like, "I'ma always work forever, just in case any of y'all ever need me, or you know what I'm saying, if y'all anybody ever needs something,
Mhm.
if anybody ever needs somewhere to stay." And that's how our relationship always been. So we get mad at each other. Granted, we fuss each other out a lot every now and then, but we still mad cool. Like if I see him, "What's up, OG?" and he be like, "What's up?" and we talk, and because we understand each other. Half of the time, he say I'm him and he me. Like we act the same sometimes, and it's crazy because we do, and that's why sometimes we argue. But he taught me a lot too, like how to deal with people, how to not let people treat you, and um just staying positive, working. If I'm depressed, he'll call me and be like, "Yo, why you laying down? You could be marketing." Like stuff
Mhm.
like that. And that's just how we are. And we've been that way like forever.
Well, shout out to my brother in love, Maurice,
Yeah, that's
for
my dog.
he. She said that's my dog. For real,
That's
like
my
Maurice is a good dad, like good brother, all of the above. For real, for real.
Yeah, that's my dog.
So shout out to
But
the
we
fam.
really good co-parents. So
That's a blessing for real because everybody don't have that. I'm be 100 with you. I don't have it with my other two girls. You know,
yeah,
it is what
like
it
I
is
don't
with that situation.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it either. With my other two kids there either, but I also didn't start off as their friend. Like
Okay.
I wasn't their friend. It was like I met them. We were cool. We started chatting, but we was really friends. Like, and we talked to each other about everything, like everything, and it never bothered us. Like,
It's like no judgment.
yeah, it's no judgment. Like I'll call him and cry, and he'll ask me like, "Yo, you're not weak, so why are you crying?"
Mhm.
And I respect him for that. So I done told. I always say, man, when I become a millionaire, he ain't got to work. That's my dog.
We know one thing. He gonna work.
He gonna work,
He another one.
but
A
he
workaholic. He
don't.
gonna work.
Yeah, he's a workaholic. But that's where Zion get it from. He get that from both of us.
Mm-hmm. And nothing's wrong with that. Like that's really dope that y'all pour into Zion. I mean, not only Zion, the other babies as well too. But
Hmm.
y'all really pour into your kids, and being present is something that's so important.
Yeah.
You know, was there ever a time in motherhood that made you feel like you just won't quit? I know you say you quit the job, but what about the motherhood part?
I never really wanted to quit the motherhood thing. It was just like, girl, go in the closet and cry and get yourself together because you all they got. Like they counting on you. So I'll go cry. I'll call who I need to call. I cry in the corner. And that's one thing. I'll give up on a lot of stuff, but I'll never give up on being a mother. Like that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. I'm telling you, them little blessings, they can be aggy sometimes, but they are.
Aggie.
Can't, can't imagine life without them, though. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. And they come with a lot of challenges. You never know what comes with the motherhood part. You just know I'm going to show up every day,
Right.
regardless of how I feel. I may be tired, I may be depressed, I may be tapped out, but I'm going to show up,
Right.
you know. So, starting to wrap up some. Tell me a moment in motherhood that changed your life forever.
Mm, a moment that changed my life forever. Um, I don't know, man. Like just having my kids with me. Period. Like having them all under one roof and knowing that I'm the reason why they are where they are. Um, it made me feel good. Just looking at them and the outcome of them. Like now, you know, a lot of people probably look at it and they say, "Oh, well, she talk about Zion a lot." I talk about all my kids, but it's different when you raising a son, and we got all of this negative and hate going on against the black men,
Right.
and so I I push my son, his self esteem. I push him. I tell him I love him. I let him know he can do anything, and I do that, and I post him and I talk about him so much because I don't want him to ever feel like he can't.
Right.
And like I always tell them, everybody in this world get a clean slate. You pick the way you want it to go, and just watching him grow, watching him become the captain of the, watching him become the captain of the football team, and being a leader, it lets me know that me and his dad did something right, and that's all you can ask for. So when it might look like that most of the time, but that's because I know I gotta let him go because he's grown now, so I can't really hold his hand. So
Mhm.
being okay with letting his hand go and say, look, whenever you need me, I'm gonna be here, but I know I can't baby you and do all the stuff that I used to do no more. It hurt because I'm like, that's my baby. but
Yeah.
I know I did what I was supposed to do because every time somebody mentions him, they say he's so respectful.
He
He's
is
so
though.
he do this, he do that, he do this and he do that, and we both know that if he was out here doing all of this stuff, people wouldn't even have nothing nice to say about him. And
Right.
I deal with I have my other two kids here, and I'm gonna push them the same way. But it's scary when you have a son that's got to be out here. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
what's
That's
going
true.
on. So that's why I do it the way I do because I'm like, look, you ain't got to do this. Me and your daddy gonna always be there.
That's
If you
true.
need something, stay on the right track. You can have whatever you want. Stay positive. You might not want to go to college, but try it. You might not want to, I'm not saying this to say that he don't want to. I'm just, this is how we talk to him. We have family meetings where us three sit to the table and we talk, and we make it so that he know that he always got somebody and he don't have to fall victim of the stuff that's going on the outside.
Right.
So it makes me feel good in motherhood that I know that I have a kid that people can talk about in a positive way.
Yeah. Tell you one thing. I mean, all your kids are good, but I've been able to interact with Zion while being at the high school, and nothing but respect every single time. So y'all definitely did an amazing job with raising a young man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, is there anything that's we didn't discuss tonight that you would like to share with a mom to give them some encouragement or anything in that nature?
Um, I always try to encourage people. I do it daily, even when I'm at work, to just tell people, don't give up, don't get wrapped up into your personal feelings because at the end of the day, yeah, they're your feelings. You deal with your feelings, but you also have to deal with them and separate that from being a parent to your kids. Um, Always push yourself, no matter what people think, no matter what people say. You do what you want to do and be the best that you want to be. But also know whatever you choose to do, that you have kids that's looking at you, and whatever you do later on in life is to be a big impact on them. I don't want nobody to ever feel like they don't have nobody. Just because my book was an open book and I went through a lot of stuff don't mean I didn't learn from it. Don't mean I'm not a good friend. Don't mean I'm not a good mother. I had to go through it just like other people had to go through stuff. I went through stuff even as a kid that I had to sort out. But you can't bring your traumas from childhood to adulthood, or what you're going through on a personal level into motherhood. You can't
Right.
do it because it's gonna make you neglect your children, and you don't want to neglect your children. So just always stay focused and know what you're really doing everything for. And if anybody ever want to talk to me about anything, like, they can, because I've been through a lot to pinpoint a lot. And that's a lot of times people don't like talking about their stuff because they feel like it's people in their business, or they scared
Hmm.
that people gonna pass judgment. People don't pass judgment about me, and I don't care because I'm. If you look at my resume, I got a lot going on positive for myself, no matter what negative stuff I've been through or how I negatively may have reacted in the past.
Right.
So I mean, everybody got to go through something but you got to get through it. You can't let it defeat you. You got to get through it and realize that your parent, your mother, and how you carry yourself, and you have people looking at you like it's a lot of stuff I really don't do no more because now my son 18, he could be like, nah, mom, you know, or my daughter 14, I can't tell her not to do something and I'm doing it.
Right.
So you your kid's first leader. Like you're their leader. So you got to, what I'm saying, push yourself through it.
Well, sis, I appreciate you tonight. You definitely have dropped some good insight, some knowledge for the moms that's out there, especially a lot of encouragement just for being Being aware of who your circle is, removing people, working through depression, having about 20 jobs, and other gifts and talents that you have shared, and being a present mom, just being able to show up. So it's a lot, and I commend you for all that you do and for
Thank
everything that you
you.
have pushed through just to be a light for other people.
Yeah, you never know. People don't never know what their calling is. I know God wanted me to be great. That's why I can do so much stuff. And I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I just realized that once you go through stuff, you see things a lot clearer once you take yourself out of situations. So I know I'm gonna be bigger than what I am now. It's just that I have to stay focused.
Well, as long as you got me in your corner, I'm gonna make sure you stay focused. I ask questions, be like, so what we doing now?
Right,
So, and I appreciate you, like seriously, just for taking the time out tonight just to chop it up. Cause that's exactly how I wanted this to go, where we're able to talk to other people and just be able to, man, just to be that encouragement, because it's so much stuff that be going on that people always focus on the negative and not the positive things.
right. And
So,
people feel like just because you went through something and people know that it was bad, that you a bad person and you're not nobody that people could talk to. I got so many people who talk to me just because of who I am, getting to know who I actually am. Not they're not looking at the cause and the effect. You get what I'm
mhm.
saying? They just looking at the effect and what was said.
Yep.
But
Believe me, I understand that part.
if I'm a genuinely loving person and I've been that way, I'm not just gonna be a different type of person just because. And when people find that out, I honestly connect with people who've been through the same stuff that's been through the same stuff as me. Might not be
Yep.
everything I went through, but close enough.
And y'all able to lean on one another, because just like you say, it may be similar pathways, but you still got through.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So, sis, I definitely just want to tell you thank you so much again for
No
just
problem.
being transparent, because sometimes being transparent is hard because of the judgmental and things like that. So, I appreciate you more than what you even know.
No problem.
Yes, sis. So, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Mother's Tea on Tide as a Mother podcast with Miss Tisha. Oh, before you leave out, drop your social media handles.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook, Letitia Hollywood business page, Beauty Cipher, and you can also find me on the Beauty Cipher on Instagram as well.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard it from her. So that is going to wrap up this episode, and we're going to look forward to talking to you all on our next one. Y'all have a good one.